Well, from local elections to the federal government stepping in to help fix a persistent problem, lead paint. This stuff has been banned for almost 5 decades, but the Minnesota Department of Health is telling us 1 million homes in our state could still have lead paint in some form. And peeling paint is the main way kids are exposed to lead, beating out lead in drinking water or contaminated soil. But now the federal government is stepping in to help families in part of our state make these homes safe. Kaya, what's up?
Well, Jana, this is for families in southeastern Minnesota owning or renting homes built before 1978. Those who are pregnant and those with kids under 6 are especially encouraged to apply.
It's been a problem for decades. Many houses built before 1978 have lead-based paint.
A tiny little bit of lead dust can flake off into the house, and then over time that builds up.
And as Dr. Stephanie Yandel explains, that's dangerous for young kids.
Lead affects especially children who are under the age of 6, because those kids interact with their environment by crawling around on the floor, they're touching windowsills, they're putting things in their mouths. At the time that they're diagnosed, most kids are not showing any signs or symptoms. So they look perfectly healthy and normal, but then they may have difficulty later on with learning and development.
Yandel says most kids are diagnosed through routine blood tests, and this state health department map tracks elevated lead levels in kids under 3. Counties marked in blue mean cases are higher than state average. As you can see, there's a cluster in the south and southeast.
In southeast Minnesota, we have a number of areas that have more than the average amount of kids with elevated blood levels. We have a lot of older homes. We have a lot of low-income families.
And now there's new opportunity for eligible families across 11 southeast counties to make their homes safer.
We received grant funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We received $3.8 million.
That's enough for 90 homes to get a free assessment and fix hazards, including but not limited to lead paint. Last year at this time, HUD granted Hennepin County more than $6.7 million to do similar work.
The city of Minneapolis also has a similar program through HUD. Ramsey County has had various sources of funding. They don't have a grant through HUD right now, but they do have a window replacement program.
The grant presented to the Minnesota Department of Health Tuesday for the Southeast is good for 4 years.
All right, we talked a lot about lead exposure in kids. As for adults, no, we're not likely to be crawling around ingesting paint chips, at least not as likely, but it certainly comes with certain jobs. And MDH says this is a great reminder at the beginning of hunting season to use non-toxic ammunition, especially if you're going to eat the game that you harvest. Jana?
That makes sense. I never thought of that. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but 90 homes is a good start if they haven't been checked up on yet. It's just expensive to do it.
Yeah, it is, to do all the repairs. Think of all the inflation too that comes with doing construction. But we'll see in 4 years after that grant's up where they can get additional funding.
All right, Kai, thanks so much.